Imagine working 40 hours every single week for the next 40 years. Now imagine reaching retirement, looking at your bank account, and realizing you can't afford to stop working. That's not a nightmare, it's the future for millions of people. And here's the scary part, most of them did exactly what society told them to do. They worked hard, never missed work, got promotions, even got raises. Yet somehow, they never became rich. So what went wrong? Was their salary too low? Or were they playing a game designed to keep them exactly where they are? Because today, I'm going to show you why someone making $45,000 a year can become wealthier than someone earning $150,000. And once you see it, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Since you were a kid, you've been taught one simple equation: study hard, get a good job, earn more money, become rich. Sounds logical, except real life doesn't work that way. If high salaries automatically created wealth, why do professional athletes go bankrupt? Why do doctors struggle with debt? Why do lottery winners lose everything? And why are there janitors, teachers, and office workers who quietly retire as millionaires? Something doesn't add up, because income and wealth are not the same thing. And confusing the two might be the most expensive mistake you'll ever make. Meet Joran. He's 26, works hard, shows up every day, never gets into trouble. His paycheck arrives every 2 weeks. For a few minutes, he feels rich. Then, rent, groceries, gas, subscriptions, insurance, a few dinners out, a new phone, a weekend trip. Suddenly, his paycheck is gone. Again. Month after month, the same story repeats. Joran isn't lazy. He's doing exactly what millions of people do, working harder without ever moving forward. But here's what Joran doesn't realize. His biggest problem isn't how much he earns. It's what happens after he gets paid. Most people think their next raise will solve everything. It won't. In fact, raises often create a bigger problem. Psychologists call it lifestyle inflation. As your income rises, your lifestyle quietly rises with it. You don't notice it happening. You simply start believing you deserve more. A slightly nicer apartment, a slightly better car, more takeout, more subscriptions, more convenience. Nothing seems expensive until everything becomes permanent. And before long, your bigger paycheck feels exactly like the old one. You earned more, but somehow you didn't become richer. This is the trap almost everyone falls into. Work, earn, spend, repeat. Year after year, without asking the most important question. What if working harder isn't the thing that makes people rich? Because somewhere, outside this cycle, there's a completely different game. A game the wealthy understand, but most workers never see. And once Joran discovers it, everything changes. So if leaks aren't the real killer, and inflation is quietly draining you either way, what actually separates the millionaire from the person who worked just as hard and ended up with nothing? One sentence: rich people don't work for money forever. At some point, they make their money work instead. That's it. That's the entire shift. Poor and middle-class income stops the moment you stop showing up. Sick day? No pay. Layoff? No pay. Retirement? No pay. But wealth-building income doesn't care if you show up. It doesn't take sick days. It doesn't need a boss's approval. It just keeps producing while you sleep, while you scroll, while you're on vacation. The name for this is simple: assets. Here's the formula. It's almost embarrassingly simple, and that's exactly why most people ignore it. Step 1. Before you spend, you pay your future self first, even if it's small. Step 2. That money doesn't sit in a bank. It goes into an asset, something that can grow on its own. Index funds, long-term investing, Things that historically climb over decades, even with rough years mixed in. Step 3. You don't touch it. You let time do the heavy lifting. Here's the part your brain will resist. It's not the amount that makes people rich. It's the years. A snowball at the top of a hill looks pathetic, small, almost pointless. But roll it down a long enough hill, and it becomes something that can crush anything in its path. That hill is time, and most people quit before the snowball even starts rolling. Let's make this real. No jargon, just numbers. Imagine you invest just $10 a day. That's one skipped coffee, $300 a month. At a historical average stock market return, here's roughly what that snowball can look like. In 10 years, you've built a small cushion most people never touch. In 20 years, it starts moving faster than the money you're putting in. In 30 years, the growth itself is now bigger than every dollar you ever contributed. The snowball is doing more work than you are. Same $10 a day. The only difference between a small result and a life-changing one is how early you let the snowball start rolling. Two people, same income, same $10 a day. One starts at 25. One starts at 35. That 10-year head start can mean the difference between retiring comfortably and retiring with double the money for the exact same monthly contribution. 10 years of hesitation can cost you more than doubling your effort later ever could.
Now here's the uncomfortable part. Remember the bucket with the leaks? Waiting is a leak too, except this one doesn't drain your money. It drains your time. And time is the one leak you can never patch, refund, or fix later. Every year you wait until things calm down, or until the next raise, or until January, isn't a pause. It's a withdrawal from a future you haven't even met yet. The monster in most people's financial life isn't debt. It isn't a low salary. It's the sentence, "I'll start later." So here's exactly what to do, starting today on whatever salary you currently have. 1. Open an investment account. It takes less time than ordering food delivery. 2. Automate a small, boring amount, $10 a day, $5 a day. It does not need to be impressive, it needs to exist. 3. Put it into simple, long-term, diversified investments. Not trends, not hype, not hot tips from strangers online. 4. Do not touch it. Let the tiny money machine run quietly in the background of your life. You don't need a bigger salary to start. You need a smaller amount of hesitation. The gap between the person who retires wealthy and the person who doesn't was never really about income. It was about who started the snowball 10 years earlier. Somewhere right now, two people are reading a script just like this one. One will close the tab and say, "I'll do it later." The other will open an account tonight with an amount so small it feels almost silly. In 10 years, only one of them will be surprised by how much that silly amount became. You already know which person you want to be. The only question left is whether you'll still be the same person tomorrow, or whether tonight is the night the snowball finally starts rolling. If this made you see money differently, there's one mistake that quietly cancels out everything we just covered, and almost everyone is making it right now. That's next.